Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another review here on Pez of the Mind. Today we are going to take a look at the Comedy Central roast of Rob Lowe that aired last week on Comedy Central. Joining me is Chris the Mole.
Hello.
And yes, Rob Lowe, famed actor Rob Lowe, chose to be roasted. The roast master was David Spade. Roasters included British comedian Jimmy Carr, political commentator Ann Coulter, comedian Pete Davidson, comedian Nikki Glazer, musician Jewel, actor Ralph Macchio, famous American football player Peyton Manning, comedians Rob Riggle, Jeff Ross, and a cameo by Amy Poehler in a pre-recorded segment.
Yep.
So what did you think of the roast, Mole?
Eh.
Yeah, that's about right.
It's not the worst roast they've done,
No.
but this one does, especially with today's landscape, prove how outdated most of this shit is.
How so?
Well, like I mentioned to you, of the whole, if he had sex with loads of people, hero. Woman has sex with loads of people, slut.
True.
We're gonna completely tell loads of anti-Republican jokes. Yay! Oh my God, someone told anti-liberal jokes.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off. And it's like, fuck off with that stuff. And it's like, half of the stuff on there was just felt really out of date. Like, it was just the same jokes over and over and over again, like they normally are. And it used to be fun, but now it just seems out of place.
Fair enough. Yeah, some of the roasters were stronger than others. There were some funny moments, but not nearly as many as there should be for a roast.
Has it been in the last few?
There's always been a few funny moments here and there. Yeah, there hasn't been a good one in a few. I think the last good one we had was Bob Saget.
Charlie Sheen's was better.
That was way before that.
Yeah, but I'm saying Charlie Sheen's was the last one I thought was really amazing.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, you're right. No, Charlie Sheen's was after Bob Saget's. You are correct. So, yeah, Charlie Sheen's was very good. You are right. Oh, Bob Saget's was that long ago? Wow. Didn't realize there'd been that many. Okay.
It was so long ago Bob Saget was a thing. But yeah, it was the best ones on this for me was Jimmy Carr.
He was good.
Ralph Macchio. Just because it's Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio was like the best one.
And I don't know his name, and I don't really care. The football player.
Yeah, Peyton Manning was pretty funny. Surprisingly more funny than most of the comedians.
They weren't comedians. That implies comedy. It's
True.
like that. What the fuck's his name called? Jeffrey Ross.
Yeah.
His outfit. I understand, and he passed off. Oh, it's a tribute to Prince. Really, the greatest musician of all time, and the tribute is a fat, unfunny guy dressing as him just for comic relief. Fuck you. Prince is better than you ever were. Fuck off.
Pretty much. That's become kind of his shtick. Is he wears a ridiculous costume every year of the roast now.
I'm aware that's his stick, but he doesn't need to do it and claim it's a tribute to someone who died because that person was fucking awesome.
True.
Prince was fucking awesome.
He was.
Oh, also the pre-recorded bit at the beginning was funny.
Yeah, Amy Poehler was pretty funny. It's too bad she wasn't there live.
I just meant the bit in general, like he was funny in it.
True.
But it says it all when most of the night, David Spade was sat there going, really? For most of the stuff. Like when someone made a Twitter joke and he's like, oh, really? Like everyone else like, ah, and he's just like, oh. And it makes sense because don't get me wrong, it's fun to mock David Spade. But he did get his start doing mocking celebrities on, was it Saturday Night Live?
That was his
Therefore,
shtick, yeah.
yeah, and a lot better than these people did.
Yes.
So this is like a huge. So I can understand why he'd be pissed off by this.
Yeah. It makes sense.
This would be like if that American football player had to go and watch a load of people play football shit in front of him
Yep.
and then pretend to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, at least he didn't pretend to enjoy, like when Kevin Hart was always doing that too soon in the last one and stuff. And it's
Yeah,
like,
he overreacted a lot at the
and all the other ones, they always go and laugh at everything. I like this one just going. Oh. I think my favorite two roasts were Charlie Sheen's and probably Bill Shatner.
Bill Shatner's was probably the best one they've done. I enjoyed the Bill Shatner one, the Charlie Sheen one. I also really like I thought the Bob Saget was pretty funny, but that's because I'm a big Full House fan, so I liked how they were doing a lot of Full House jokes. So that's me personally. Not everybody's gonna like that, obviously. Yeah, the Hasselhoff one wasn't terrible.
I will say, I think obviously the William Shatner one's much better than the Charlie Sheen one. The
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen one was funny at the time. I feel like when you go back and watch it now, it's not funny.
Yeah.
But I think it was probably funny at the time just because he was a meme.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, this one, it was. They weren't as. It wasn't as terrible as the Franco one.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it wasn't as bad, but it felt more awkward.
The least, in my opinion, the least funny ones were obviously Jeffrey Ross and that comedian with a really big mouth. The dude who told like nothing I would consider a joke. And then when the other person mocked him, it just goes, oh, and you're like, fuck you.
Yep.
Those to me were the two unfunniest ones, anyway.
I could agree with that. I could agree they were a little bit on the weaker side.
I thought that woman who got booed was really not. She wasn't the best one by far, but she was really harshly treated.
She was, and that's like you brought it up earlier. The problem was an audience. She wrote or probably wasn't her. They probably wrote it for her, but her material was really, really good. The problem is she was against a really liberal audience, and so because they were mostly conservative jokes and jokes at the expense of liberals, she did not get the reaction she would have had the audience been different.
I didn't think that all of her jokes were amazing. They weren't that well done, but I found it weird that they didn't even like. Everyone was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" when she pulled out a book and she's putting it on the table and she's mocking. I'm sorry, that's fucking genius because let's face it, most of the people on stage weren't actually friends with Rob Lowe. They're all there to further their careers. This one's doing it in an honest way and sort of taking the piss out the whole roast thing by doing it in such a blatant way of like, fuck it, I'm here to tell my book. Here's my book. That's funny and kind of clever. But everyone was just like, ugh, we're not even going to listen to it. Ugh, and it's like, fuck off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was very harshly treated, and that really wasn't fair.
Because I put out to you, how fucked up is it that someone would tell a joke about selling her book, and everyone would be like boo and just not listen to her. Someone tells a joke about someone's dad dying, and that person laughs.
Yeah.
You're supposed to take it in the okay, it's funny, ha 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 thing. You can't. It seemed like she was only there so the other comedians could mock her all night.
That's and the fact
that they ripped into her way more than they did Rob Lowe.
Yes, and that's to her credit. That was her first thing when she went up there. I was like, "I'm going to promote my book. Thank you for coming to the Comedy Central Roast of Ann Coulter with Rob Lowe."
Yep. But it's true that they mocked her way more than they did him.
They tore into her ass, and that's.
And I don't mean that in a good way either, because the jokes of her were really nasty. The jokes of him were more like, one of the guys. And I'm like, it didn't sit right. But Ralph Macchio was just adorable.
Ralph Macchio was amazing.
He was adorable.
He was great.
I don't know why he's so likable.
He just is, and that's what's great about him. And that is acting, motherfucker.
Yeah. Which was funny. And I also loved the fact, like, everyone ripped into him. The only thing they ripped into Ralph Macchio for was just he wasn't famous anymore.
Pretty much.
Which I point out, neither's most of the people on stage. That's why they're doing this shit.
Basically, yeah.
Like, I'd say the most famous one on the stage, in my opinion, was David Spade.
I guess depending on your audience, because Peyton Manning's pretty famous. The football player's pretty famous.
He is, but he's not been famous for a few years. He's not that relevant for years. David Spade was recently, as bad as they were, in the Grown Ups films. It's made a shit ton at the box office, so he's more relevant to today.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's like there's still a lot of Karate Kid fans out there.
That is true.
I mean, Jimmy Carr was relevant to me, but that's only because he's in a lot of shows over here.
Yeah, to the audience on this side, we wouldn't really know that much about who he was.
Like, he normally hosts a big fat quiz, which is funny, and he hosts one of my favorite shows of 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. Weird title, I know, but it was a show called 8 out of 10 Cats, and there was a show called Countdown. Then they did the people doing 8 out of 10 Cats hosting Countdown for a special, and now they don't do 8 out of 10 Cats anymore. They only do the Countdown ones because it's fucking funny.
Nice.
Countdown still goes on its own, but they only do the 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, but it's fucking funny.
Okay.
But yeah, his jokes were funny here too.
He was funny, yeah.
And I felt like he went further in a lot of the other ones, but in a funnier way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like some of the other ones, like that big mouthed one, whenever he went far, you got the sense he was doing it just to go there.
Yeah.
But with Jimmy Carr, whenever he does it, he does it and then laughs. It's part of the joke.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love the fact some of the American people actually mocked him. Or I think one of the American ones mocked him for the same thing as the UK. So a load of people in the UK do.
What's that?
He looks incredibly like a ventriloquist dummy.
He does.
That's normally a big joke. Like whenever we've done a lot of shows over here, one of the comedians will always rip into him for looking like a dummy. That and his tax evasion.
Oh.
No, that was a big thing. You can look that up.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say, as people pointed out, it was unfair what the media did with Jimmy Carr with that.
Okay.
There was a hell of a lot of celebrities doing the fake tax stuff, like offshore accounts and stuff to fiddle money. But at the time, they needed a face to put to it to basically tell everyone, "Boo! This is who celebrities are," and back the political machine.
Yeah.
And they chose him.
That's too bad.
So he basically became the face for something everyone else was doing too. But to his credit, he stuck with it, and he even mocks himself for it.
Well, that's good. That's the best way to take the wind out of somebody's sails, is to be making fun of yourself for it first.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and then even though his actual jokes weren't that funny, I kind of left at Rob Riggle only because how over the top excited he was about his own jokes. Because like to the point of like ridiculousness.
Which one's he?
No, he was Mr. Where he would tell a joke and then he'd scream why the joke was funny really loudly.
Oh,
I laughed not because the jokes are funny, but because how ridiculous the entire thing was.
Yeah.
Because Rob Riggle is generally a pretty funny guy. This is not the medium for his comedy, but
no, he's funny in comedies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he was funny in, and I'm going to mention this just for Jim, the last ever Robin Williams film.
Okay.
Absolutely everything. He played the dickhead boyfriend who was trying to exploit Simon Pegg's character, who could literally do anything he wanted.
Wow.
All he had to do in the film was say the phrase, like, and then, like, let's say if I was him, I'd say Jim's mustache will disappear, and then wave his hand, and it happened. Like at one point, he says to his dog, "I wish you could talk," and it gets the voice of Robin Williams.
Ha! Nice.
He's like, "Oh yes, master, please." And at one point, he's like, "Oh God, I wish you wouldn't." He says something like, "I wish you wouldn't be so needy as a dog," and goes to wave his hand. The dog's like, "No, please, master, don't take away my instincts, please, master. It's all I have." And reasons with him, and I'm like, "That's awesome." I don't know why.
Nice.
Robin Williams is a really overexcited dog. It's
I
fucking
need,
funny.
I need to see that movie now.
Yeah, it's like Simon Pegg is this alien, and it's like they do it. They do an alien federation that includes basically like First Contact and Star Trek and stuff.
Right.
They find new civilizations, or they pick them via some sort of like lottery type thing. But
Okay.
they pick new civilizations, and then they decide whether or not they should join them or whether or not they should destroy them. And spoiler, as one of the other people on the council points out, we haven't let anyone join us since we formed this council. We've literally just blown up planets. And it's like, oh, okay.
Or no, at least they're honest about it.
Yeah, you should watch that. We should review it. That's
We
a cool
should.
film.
I'll get that. Yeah, I will watch it. It sounds like a good film. We'll do that in a couple months' time.
Eventually.
Yeah.
There's no rush.
Yeah, that'll be down the line somewhere.
Yeah. But no, yeah, like I said, the roast itself, like I said, not the worst roast ever, but not the best. And I just feel with today's climate and stuff, it feels too out of place. It feels too dated. And I know a lot of people say, but this is the same jokes they were telling back in the day. And I'm like, yeah, back in the day, the world was different.
It's true.
And it also feels sort of like, do you remember the Aristocrats documentary?
Heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
Basically, the same a load of comedians telling the exact same joke, all trying to top each other by going as offensive as possible.
Okay.
Feels like that. Like all the jokes were the same ones, but each one who stepped up would try and go more offensive than the one before him.
Yeah, that's usually how the roasts go.
Yeah, but it just feels dated now, and I don't know why. It just feels like a dated format.
It did feel a little bit dated. I think part of the problem was just the environment was just awkward. Number one, let's be honest, who gives a shit about Rob Lowe?
He's cool.
He's an okay guy, but literally, until he started doing those direct TV commercials that he got mocked for several times, the only thing I knew him as was, oh, that guy that played young number 2 in that Austin Powers movie. I knew him from nothing else.
And West Wing.
I never watched The West Wing. Our government's on TV enough in real life. We don't need our government on TV in our fiction. I'm kidding.
That was a great show.
That wasn't a great show. Props to Martin Sheen. But
May he rest in peace.
did he die?
I don't know. Wasn't Amazing Spider-Man 1 a documentary?
Ha! That, ladies and gentlemen, is a better joke than anything that was told in the roast.
Oh, it's completely pointless, but yeah. At least it made my top relevant.
It did. It made your top relevant. Nicely done.
But no, I did like the West Wing. But
Yeah.
it was a case of, yeah, Rob Lowe, he's a good enough guy, and that's cool. But yeah, they should get bigger people. Like, when they did the David Hasselhoff one, while parts were outdated, it was more also easygoing banter between people who knew him close.
Yeah.
I felt like most of these were just, I don't know, you'd call it, but showbiz friendships where you knew they weren't really hanging out together.
Yeah, like of all the people that were there talking to each other, the only people I believe that actually might know and hang out with Rob Lowe were Ralph Macchio and Jewel.
Yeah, it seemed to me like I don't know her name, the woman with the book, was only there. Yeah, it felt like she was only there so they had something to target with nasty jokes.
It really did.
And it felt like Ralph Macchio was only there so all the jokes about how someone's not relevant wouldn't be aimed at Rob Lowe.
That is true.
And then he's
Um,
just praised with, "Oh, you had sex with all those nannies. Ah, you exploited women."
Yep. But yeah, it did kind of feel that way. I read something that said apparently Ann Coulter was like she didn't understand how the roast worked and was misled as to how it was going to be or something like that. And then like there was supposed to be a thing where like she said that she actually her set got a much better reaction. They edited her to make it look like she had no reaction. But then some of the others came out and said no, we edited it to make her look better because she got that bad of a reaction.
Yep, which honestly, I'm just gonna say it was the same reaction because
Yeah.
with the conflict inside, like fuck, it, we'll look at with the middle one. It's the same reaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just felt weird.
It did.
It's like it says it all that the trailer for this was funnier than the actual roast.
Yeah.
Assuming you had the same trailer we did
Probably.
with David Spade on the bed.
I don't remember seeing the trailer, so I'm not sure.
David Spade's on a bed, like writing in his diary about Rob Lowe, like a schoolgirl with
Nice.
headphones. He's like, "Oh, dear diary, I love Rob Lowe so much," and all the wall is covered with Rob Lowe pictures in hearts and stuff.
Nice.
When Rob Lowe enters the room, it's like, "What are you doing in my bedroom?"
Ah.
And I'm like, "That's funny. All those pictures are his. That's funny."
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, overall final rating, Mo. What would you give it?
Eh, I normally go with the thumb system, so I'll just keep it in the middle. It's not shit, but it's definitely not worth. Yeah, rush out and watch it.
Yeah.
If you happen to see it on, check it out. If you really want to see it, see it. But
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in this roast. If I had a numerical score, I'd probably give it somewhere between a 70 and an 80, maybe a 75-ish. It was okay. It's not the worst roast you've ever had, but you're not missing much if you decide to skip it. It's not that big of a thing.
nope.
No. All right. Well, thank you for joining me to talk about the roast, Mo.
A pleasure. And we'll do the next one. We seem to be doing these.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, they get somebody better next. Personally, I want to really see the Comedy Central roast of Hulk Hogan because I think that would be hilarious.
I want to see the other one.
Which one?
Like I said to you, the fact that and we need to do them if they do.
Yeah, the
fact
WWE
WWE
roast.
Network is supposed to be doing them. That's who I want to see roast Hulk Hogan.
That would also be good.
The reason I want to see the WWE Network roast Hulk Hogan is like we saw with the David Hasselhoff one. Most of the celebrities can only make the joke of, "Oh, he's a wrestler, therefore gay."
True.
Whereas like people be making fun of his actual wrestling stuff in
Yeah.
the WWE one, so it'd probably be funnier.
Yeah.
Plus, there probably wouldn't be Jeffrey Loss.
Probably not. All right. Well, we'll see you next time for more great reviews and all kinds of good stuff like that there.
Yep, and I'm looking forward
Peace.
to Roastmaster Mean Gene.
Oh, that'd be great.